Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises to Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahasham Rakakodash. Double honor to the apostles, to the elders, a great millstone who rule well. Peace, blessing, salutation to the elect. This is Proverbs 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction, and an haughty spirit before a fall. Better it is to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil with the proud. Okay? And it's better to be of a lowly, humble spirit. Okay? Why is earth and ashes proud? Tomorrow's not promised. We didn't create ourselves. And ultimately, we're in hell. This place has been ruled and governed by the wicked Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. As the rulers, so are the people. Esau, Edom, that's a proud nation. You Edomites are proud. All right, just look at the so-called president, DJ, Trump. He's a very proud guy, right? Very proud. So the people are proud, especially you women of the tribes, starting with the southern kingdom, Benjamin, Judah, and Levi. So-called you Benjamin, you Benjamites, you so-called West Indians and Jamaicans and Bahamians, you Levites, you so-called Haitians, you got the Judah, you so-called black people, you so-called African Americans. You got women of the southern kingdom. I'm specifically talking about the women of the southern kingdom because I have this article queued up, which this article came out this year, but it's a couple months old, or a month and some change old. Okay. From DailyWeekly.com. No, DallasWeekly.com. Yeah, brothers doing videos and lessons on this topic. More than 106,000 black women lost jobs last month. Black women experienced the steepest job loss of any demographic group in April, with their unemployment rate jumping from 5.1% to 6.1%. See? It says black women experienced the steepest job loss of any demographic group in April. Start with the Judite woman. Because Judah is the head tribe, the tribe of Judah. The southern kingdom consists of Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Overview: black women experienced the largest job loss of any demographic group in April, shedding 106,000 jobs, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. The unemployment rate for black women jumped from 5.1% to 6.1%, the largest month-to-month increase among all racial and gender groups. The overall black unemployment rate rose to 6.3% in April, up from 6.2% in March. The number of black women employed is now at a 5-month low, while the number of unemployed black women is at a 5-month high. The number of employed black women dropped from 10.325 million in March to 10.219 million in April. Their unemployment rate jumped from 5.1% to 6.1%, the largest month-to-month increase among all racial and gender groups. Among other findings, the labor force participation rate for black women edged to 61.2%, indicating a loss in employment and a possible decline in overall workforce engagement. The unemployment rate for white women remained unchanged at 3.3%. Hispanic women's unemployment also held at 4.6%. Women in other groups generally do not face the dual barriers of racial and gender discrimination that black women contend with, a factor in the jobless rate gap. The overall black unemployment rate rose to 6.3% in April, up from 6.2% in March. Marking the third straight month increase and the highest rate since January. In contrast, black men saw a gain in employment, dropping their jobless rate from 6.1% to 5.6%. Yeah, so we're living in a time where a lot of you people, a lot of you women, you losing your jobs. Not so strong and independent, right? You see? You the same ones that's saying you don't need no man, you could do bad all by yourself. All right? You was all for that 4B movement. When you get a chance, you brothers out there and you sisters out there, Google 4B movement. Okay? Now a lot of you women looking for men. A lot of you women looking for a man now. You've been trusting in the government for too long. You've been trusting in the goodies and the different benefits and gifts from the government to the point you betrayed your own man. You called a black man or black men dusty. Not all women, not all black women, okay, but the majority of black women making all so-called black women look bad. Okay, you have a small percent of so-called black women trying to do what's right, but the majority of you black women, hey man, you're making the rest of the so-called black women look bad. Okay, a lot of men don't want to deal with the so-called black woman. Why? because their attitude, you know. So it's not really looking too good for you, you so-called black women. All right. So, just a lesson, quick lesson. Shalom.